Welcome back, YouTube family. G-Body Auto back with you, working on the 2006 Infiniti Fx35. I love these vehicles, very solid for the most part, all-wheel drive, strong motor. But anyway, today we're working on alternator, which is down there at the bottom, this bottom pulley right here. So we're gonna get it going. So we're gonna be, I think there's a pulley tensioner that loosens all this serpentine belt. So make sure you disconnect your battery first. We'll disconnect the negative and the positive. So on this one, it has a brand new battery, but it would run for a while and then it shut off. The customer was, the way they described it, it sounded like a fuel pump because they did run out of gas also. So I almost thought the fuel pump was out. But anyway, once I get to the shop, found out that it's definitely the alternator. We worked on multiple vehicles yesterday. Didn't get a chance to do the video, but anyway. Radiator, new condenser in this one. So I'm just letting it run so I can get up the temperature, open up that thermostat and let the rest of the fluid flow through. We also worked on that Honda over there, getting the bodywork put together. Has a new radiator in that, I believe. Yeah, I did some little framework pulling on that and got the hood situated. And also started working on this Acura TSX. So anyway, that gives you a hint what we've been doing here. So anyway, back on here, got the positives taken off. Now we can start moving that tensioner. I believe there's a bolt under it. Yeah, adjustable bolt. So anyway, we're gonna loosen that, and there's a bolt under it that'll make that hole loosen that tensioner belt. Now I believe those are 12s. All right, so we're gonna loosen that bolt. There we go. Just a little bit. Definitely got some rust on it. And then we're gonna go under and loosen the other one. I think actually that one was a 14, so the other one is probably a 14 also. All right, I went ahead and went up under there so you guys can see what I'm talking about. That's the tensioner pulley adjuster. So you loosen that up and that whole pulley should start falling. But this stuff definitely got some rust on it here. All right, let me see if I can hold this steady for y'all. So that's a 12 down here. Up there was a 14. There we go. Should be able to turn with your hand after a while. All right, so that belt should be loose enough for me to take it off. Yep. And it's good to note. It's good to note how the serpentine belt is routed. That way you remember when it's time to put the belt back on. All right, belt is off and loose. So we see there's a bracket here. I gotta check on that car that's running. Yeah, so that brace will have to come off. And watch or take note of how you put it on there. If you put it on backwards, it's not going to line up right with the pulley. So we'll take off that bracket, and then there should be a bolt further up. We'll just take this off first. And you want to go ahead and remove this pulley. It'll help get the alternator out the way. Okay, so we got that bracket off. So there should be another bolt. Turn the light on. Let's see. There we go. Should be another bolt right there. There we go. We're gonna take that bolt off. And still remember to remove that bracket. And actually there were 3 bolts. One at the bottom and those 2 at the top. So you'll be able to see them. And just so you won't lose what bolt goes to what, you know, just kind of stick them in there set it to the side, you know, that way I won't worry about getting lost. So now we'll see that top alternator bolt right there. And then them all were 12s. This alternator bolt should be a 14. So thought I broke this loose. Go. Pretty much loose. See, it's kind of sliding down. Just keep wiggling it. It'll fall. Kind of hard to work with one hand. There we go. Somebody replaced this with a used one. Look at that. I'm gonna get this one rebuilt, actually. 80 bucks here locally. So you'll get to that, either pull that back, that'll be a positive. It'll be a bolt down there, back there, and then you gotta pull that off. That should be a push-in tab. It might be hard to kind of reach, but just push it in and then pull out at the same time. All right, so just pull that rubber boot back so you can get on that bolt. And I just kind of wedged it in between this line a little bit to stabilize it. So when I try to break the bolt, the alternator won't be moving around and, you know, all that. So let me see if I can do this one-handed. Probably can't. Nope. Have to set it down. All right, I just set it down. And keep that bolt just in case the new one doesn't come one. Every now and then you'll get one and don't have the bolt you need, so just save that one. So you just pull that wire off. Pull it off and get to that plug. It's gonna be kind of tight to get to. I'm gonna set this camera down. Okay, I spun this thing around so you guys can see a little bit better. That right there, that's what makes it so tough. You gotta push this tab down. This one right here. So it's better to get a little flat head and push down on that, kind of pry. That's what I'm gonna try to do here. All right, guys, that's what I use, my flat head. This is probably about 6-inch flat head screwdriver, so you can see that plug. So it has to press down. So I just wedge the screwdriver on top of that, on top of this, in between the alternator case right here, and just pry it down and it'll slide right off. All right, so I'm gonna take this thing to get rebuilt. So see y'all pretty soon. All right, we're back at it. Got the rebuilt alternator, about to go back in. All right, so I got this kind of sitting in that spot right there. You gotta pull that rubber boot back, have it cocked back like that so you can put your bolt back on. So I'm gonna try to just move this a little closer because it's too far away for that wire to reach back there. So you do that one first and then you plug this in. You don't want all the tension on this. Okay, so now you gotta just kind of wiggle in there. You'll get in there. And once you get that top kind of lined up, just put the top bolt in there, turn a few threads, let the alternator just kind of hang there. You can adjust it in a minute. So I'll do a couple threads, then kind of line up everything else. So next is our bracket there, our tensioner, and then we'll put the bracket in there. All right, so what I did was I started with this bottom bolt since it was easier to get to, and I just coupled threads, and that way the bracket can just sit up there. And then what I did was I took the 12, and I basically just had a bolt in there, and I just put it in there as I found the hole up there. You know, basically I just set it in there like that, and just started, you know, threading it with my finger. It's easier to do it that way. So I'm gonna get these tightened up. All right, we got those nice and snug. Now, remember that brace, we'll put that up there, the bottom of the alternator, into that slot right there. So start off with that bolt right here in the alternator. That way you can move this brace to the spot in the alternator and move around to where you can move it, where you can get to that hole for the other bolt. You know, this brace will move back and forth with the alternator. I'm trying to show you guys so you can see actually moving. See, it'll move back and forth so you can get into the spot. Now I'm basically lined up. If you can see it. There you go. Tighten those down. Okay, so now you got all those tightened. Remember, you got to go back and tighten up the top alternator bolt. So get that. And that one is a 14. All right, so now our serpentine belt can go back on there. I want to spray some little PV blast on there. Them bolts are pretty rusted on those two. All right, so now you get the belt back on. Remember, tighten this bolt first till it's pretty tight on tension, and then you'll tighten that down to lock it in. So remember, as you start tightening this one now, the whole pulley will start going up to lock it in place. So I got it where it's got enough give to the belt. You know, you want a little bit of flexibility. So let's tighten up that one. All right, so we should be good to go. Put the battery cable on and see what we got. All right, guys, let's see what we got. Got the battery back on. Oh yeah, looking good, sounding good. Nice and quiet. Belt's on there, not too tight. We're good. So that's another one for you from G-Body Auto. 2006 to I think 10 or not, no, 2006 to 8. Infinity Fx35. Do it yourself. Save some time, save some money, and learn something new. G-Body Auto. Thanks for watching. We out.